Welcome back to the program. We still continue with our discussion on fashion industry and the evolution of fashion here in the country. Joan, before we went on break, you were talking to us about how some people are in employment or they are doing different jobs, but it's not quite what they love because sometimes of the fear of getting into arts because of how that space looks like. Continue breaking down for us.
So most people, it's more than fear, how they're perceived by society, because as you know, most parents tell you that's not a real job. You can't be a musician, for example, because it's not a real job.
You can't be a fashion designer, you can't be a makeup artist.
Exactly, okay. Because it's not a real job. And they don't think that you can make it in that space, but you actually can, because we creatives, we put a lot of time and effort in what we do. It's not just you wake up and you design a dress. No, you think about it. The thought process takes maybe a week, maybe a month to create a certain look, and at the end of the day, when I create a look, if it takes time, I really feel fulfilled after I do the look and I see, wow, it really came out to how I expected it, or even better. And I feel very good even making money in the rather than, you know, doing something else, which I am very 100% sure each day when I wake up, I'm struggling to go to work. I'm struggling, I'm complaining each and every single day. So I think everyone should just do what they love. If it's fashion design, if it's makeup, just go for it and don't be scared, because if you never start, you're never going to know how it's going to turn out.
How beautiful. If you never start, you just might never know how it's going to turn out. You also talked about fear not being the only reason as to why people wouldn't venture into either fashion or, you know, the arts kind of business. How was your experience like when you're coming into this kind of space?
So for me, it's actually not been hard because I have very supportive parents, and I'm still actually in school. I'm finishing my 4th year. So one time I had a break, and I really love makeup, and I really thought about doing makeup, doing beauty. I always want to have a cosmetics line one day and, you know, in Africa and be a big brand. So I thought to myself, why don't I go and learn makeup? Because I just never used to do it properly, I can say. And so I decided to take a 3-month course. I went all the way to Nigeria. I did my 3-month makeup course. And when I came back, I just started, you know, to market myself. I started to tell everyone that I am a makeup artist, I do makeup. And slowly by slowly, I've really grown. By the way, I've gotten clients. I've gotten to work with people who I thought I would never work with. And it's been really good. So far, so good.
Do you think that learning is one of those areas we don't take a keen interest on because we just feel if you are into the arts, it's all a question of talent? I feel I'm talented, I can do this, so why should I go to school and get some education or insight on it? Is it a problem?
I think no matter what you do in this life, you always need to go and add some knowledge on it, whatever it is, because that knowledge, the moment you go to school for something, even if it's fashion design, you come to learn a lot of things that you would never have learned just because you have the talent. Talent is one thing, and it's good to have the talent, but remember, someone might not have the talent, for example, to become a makeup artist. They might go and learn it and become good at it. So if you have the talent, I would recommend that you go and add on to the knowledge, because it's going to be really helpful.
Fauzia, I've seen you nodding your head like clearly it is important to also go to school, get some education about these things, because we all keep thinking all the time, I am talented, you know, I can do this, so why am I going to get a 3-month short course or a 6-month course?
There's the talent part of it, and there's a professional part of it. As much as you're talented, you might not have the courtesy, the courteous way of dealing with people, customer service. It's all broadened up into different directions. So as much as someone has talent, you also need to go to school. There's different ways of learning about stuff. Like for me, it's an everyday learning institution. Like I learn every day from what I see, from what others are doing, from what my tailors are also doing. Like, it's a process of learning. You can never get the enough knowledge and say like, okay, I am talented, I'm just going to use that only to like broaden my career and all that stuff. We learn every day, so it's important for people to like go to school, broaden their minds. So you think about different ways, study a lot, especially in fashion. You have to like keep tab with the current fashion styles and everything.
Speaking of keeping tabs with the current fashion, trends and all that, for you as a person, as a fashion designer, how do you do this?
There's a lot of online experience, like you get to study different countries. I follow mostly the West African countries because mostly people think they're the ones who inspire like fashion in Africa. So like as in Kenya, we also need to have that motivation to like give people the understanding that it's not only in West Africa that represent fashion. Also, like we as Kenyans, we have to like embrace our own style. I could currently say about the Kikuyu side, the Kikuyu fashion is more representing Kenya because I've dealt with mostly when it comes to like traditional weddings and all that stuff. So people come to you and like, so let's say the person is Meru and they're asking you to design a dress for them and they're like, do we really have a design for the Meru culture? She's like, I don't really think so, but we can come up with something. So that's research. You have to do research. You have to find out what this culture is entailed. It's a lot of learning. Because if someone comes to me with an idea and I have no idea how to address it, I have to go back to the books.
Exactly.
I have to go back to the internet to do my research, to find out how is this done, how do these people like sit well with themselves and everything. So it's a process.
And it's a learning curve.
It's a learning
So that's why it's, just as what Joan was saying and also what you're saying, you could be talented, but you still need to know, which is all as a result of learning, reading every day. You talked about something in regards to, even the West, thinking that when we talk about culture and maybe dressing, it's just mostly what we get in the western part of African continent. And sometimes there's that thinking of kitenges, huko ndo zimetoka. So do you feel like, the western part of the African continent sells us as an entire Africa, where, and I mean, every African country has their own style, but it's just like we pick from the western part of the African continent?
Unfortunately, I would love to agree to that because they influence the African style a lot.
So it's actually true?
I'd hate to admit that, but it's true. Yes, they do influence the African styles, the fabrics. Like most of the times we import fabrics actually from like Ghana, Nigeria. Like someone will come to you, especially I've dealt with kente. Kente is from Ghana. So like there's the woven kente and the printed kente. There's also like East African types of fabrics, but mostly you get that they're printed maybe in China and all that.
There's lack of the originality bit of it.
Yes.
Okay.
So probably we as a Kenyan designers, the fashion industry, if we revive our textile industries to like enable us to have our own prints. If I'm able to come up with my own prints, I would actually be different from the other African countries. Yes.
Joan, Fauzia is talking about reviving our own textile industries, and there has been, if I can mention, complaints in regards to when it comes to textile industry in the country, fashion industry in the country. I would say that we do not embrace our own. We are so quick to pick from the West or different parts, of the world. What is your mind in regards to this? Or better still, how can we revive our own textile industry to start appreciating and embracing our own?
I feel like it's not just in fashion, but it's in many areas that people don't support people locally. They'd rather support people from maybe other countries and stuff like that. But I think that what people don't realize is that the culture of supporting each other, and if I'm not wrong, it's called Ubuntu, which is togetherness, is something which we should really embrace, because remember, when we support each other, we are better when we're together. So the more we support each other, the more even to other countries, to other people's eyes, they would like now to copy what we have. So I think that designers, people who are in the beauty industry should really embrace supporting each other, and also people should make a point of investing in the textile industry. I do agree, so that we can source things from here. It will be cheaper and it will be even better.
So it's not just a question of support only, but also investing into this kind of business or industry. Okay. There's also something you're mentioning when you were off air in regards to challenges facing the fashion industry. And as we were talking about earlier, it's not just a question of fear, whereby people would fear to get into this space or choose to go fully fledged into it. There's some other underlying issues. Yes. What are they?
So like, there's that fear, like, you know, everyone, when you wake up in the morning and you want to start a business, you have the idea, but you're thinking, how am I going to put my idea into place? Do I have the resources, the capital to start up a business, the conducive environment of doing a business? You know, like, let's say here in Nairobi, the rents are way expensive for you to have a premises where you can run your business.
And at the center,
yes,
you know,
at the center of CBD, at a place where everyone can be able to access you. You know, if I get like a studio out of CBD, I'll be limited to the amount of clients I'm getting, because some of them will tell you, oh, that's too far, I can't get to you. I can't come there. You know, CBD is also a challenge. Is there parking where you are? Do you have parking? Is it in downtown?
Now this is a client probably asking all those questions.
You're in downtown, how will I access you? You know, I don't like working in downtown. Like, those are some of the business challenges that we go through. There's a textile bit of it. You know, importing fabrics is way costly. And then the market also needs to understand there's importation, there's the taxes, there's everything that is happening before you get that fabric to you. Before you do the production, there's a process. There's a lot more of material used to like make a garment or something. So like the process is also like a bit tough. It's costly. So when you give a client the pricings and they're like, why are you charging me this much? I could easily go to Isili or to go to wherever and get a cheaper.
And get the same thing at a cheaper cost. Okay.
So there comes, there's those bits where you experience people coming to your store, they do research, they take what you've made, go and do it in a cheaper way. Yes, it's cheap, but cheap is expensive. So most of the times, they go buy those cheap garments and bring them to you to do the finishing because it's not been nicely done.
And this is your design?
Yes.
Okay, well, let's get this. So someone would walk into your store or your space, look at all the things you've displayed there, what you've designed, from the creative process to the tailoring to everything. Yes. Then they go do a copy-paste of that.
Yes. No, not only like locally, like there's a, let's say like China. Okay. They produce a lot of, they manufacture a lot. They bring in cheap stuff that, yes, we all can afford that. But there's the quality bit of it. You know, if I go there and buy something for 500 and it doesn't last me a month, I'll have to go back and buy the same thing at 500. While you can come to me and buy something worth 5,000 and you will keep telling me, oh, my dress is still there. I actually love it. The quality is good and all, yes. So like, there's places where you get, someone comes with a new outfit, they've worn it once. It's like, oh, kindly hold it for me.
Stitch
it's already torn. You know, what can you do? You know, like the shape of a person, when you buy a dress, there's different concepts of it. Like if I wear this dress, there's a bodice line. I have to, it has to fit me perfectly on my body. So imagine buying an outfit and you find the bodice is here or it's under the waist. So someone comes like, what can you do to help me? I really love this outfit, but please help me figure this out. So you as a creative person, you sit back on the table, drawing board, back to the drawing board, you look at the outfit, and then you come up with an idea to change the look. So like I've put in my concept to make you look beautiful to make you love your dress. So the thing here is like, let's encourage the locals to support locals. Yes, let's create a conducive environment where we can run business, you know, production, let people understand the process of fashion and design, the process of makeup and artists and all that. Yes.
I understand all that goes into, you know, what you call creatives, basically. So aside from just what you've mentioned in regards to environment and people appreciating and learning, even because before you appreciate something, you need to understand and learn it first. Then what do you think probably the government can do to bridge that gap? Because you'd hear a lot of fashion designers, I can tell you for sure, complain about that. Someone would come to your store, they want you to make them a dress, and you tell them it's 3,500 Kenyan shillings, and they go like, but I can get a similar kind of thing, almost even the same material at a certain place, even at 1,000 bob.
Yes,
and there we go, losing our own market, losing our own designs and all of that. So what can we do, probably even as a, you know, a bigger authority, to bridge that gap?
I would like to commend the government first for there's that fashion Friday look, the African Friday look at the government offices. That's a good thing, because we get clients from that. It's like, oh, it's important, it's mandatory for me to wear this look on Friday, so kindly create something for me. So that makes us feel better, because at least the government is also watching what you are doing. Now the other part is probably revive the textile industry, make it's easier for us to get the fabrics, the materials, all the resources that we need to come up with our productions, open up different ways of us like exporting our stuff, you know, out there. There's actually a huge market outside that are interested in the African designs, the ornaments, the collections and all that stuff. So sometimes you get approached by international designers, international like fashion stores. They would want you to make something. I'm actually like going to do something like that in May. So they would want you to like design for them, come up with a collection for them. They come with the idea and they want you to like put into the idea so that they go and resell back into their countries. So like we need to do more of the fashion shows around. We need to educate our people about fashion. Yes. Yes.
All right. I was so into this conversation that I'm not even realizing that we are almost even getting out of time. But I really want us to conclude without talking about culture. And I want to start with you, Joan. In what way do you feel culture comes into play when it comes to fashion, either as an addition or as a hindrance?
I think it has both benefits and non-benefits. The benefits are the fact that you feel like you belong to something. You know, that aspect of this is my culture, maybe for example this is my tribe, this is my country. When you wear something that relates to that, you feel like you belong somewhere, and that sense of belonging makes you feel at home. So I think that's the benefit.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, the downside of it is the fact that there are certain things which are perceived, maybe you cannot wear them in certain places. You really have to watch what you dress, where you're going. It comes as a hindrance because, for example, if you're going to town, if you're working in town, you know there's a certain way you must dress like, and maybe you really don't like to dress like that. For example, if you're going to the village to maybe stay at your grandmother's place over Christmas, there's a way even your grandmother tells you, maybe wear a dress which reaches maybe your toes. You know, there's that style of dressing which is on people's minds, and I don't think it's something which is easy to remove, because I think it's just like a culture. It's passed on from generation to generation.
Speaking of these cultures, Fauzia, do you feel like it's time maybe we need to overlook some of these things? Or in your perspective, what are some of the culture hindrances when it comes to embracing some new fashion designs, or what are some of the benefits as it comes to us uplooking some of these designs?
The benefits, we get to learn about histories of different dialects and all that. It's like, when you come to me as a Luo, you want to dress in this type, I am getting to learn. I actually learn a lot on the job, because I get to understand different cultures.
And it's just because of the culture?
Yes.
Okay.
Because, you know, we deal with different cultures, especially weddings and events. So people are actually embracing their cultures. People want to do the traditional type of weddings, and they set up the decor, you know, makeup, you know, like the makeup actually, what you dress goes with how your makeup goes. You just don't do anything at any time. So like the culture is good. It's making us learn on the job. It's promoting our country as Kenyan, especially now Kenya is known for the Maasai shuka. So that Maasai culture is actually promoting Kenya. We are known outside. You know, the downside bit of it is like you can't just do anything as you go anywhere.
Yeah.
I can't wear the Maasai traditional dresses walking around town. Everyone will be startled of like, why are you wearing that? What's wrong with this person? Are you okay? You know, so we've gotten to a bit where I can only dress up when I'm going to an event. I cannot dress up every day on anything. It's only like there's an event, I have to dress up. So we have to like get this culture of dressing up any day, looking good every day.
Which is a bad thing, because the way you're mentioning it, for example, if you want to wear, you know, those Maasai clothing or even the Kikuyu kind of one, because at least that's where we are when it comes to the culture bit and dressing part of it. Unless I'm going for that Kikuyu Rora shoe, I can't wear it.
You can't wear it.
What can we do then?
It's like in my line of work, someone will tell me, please design for me something that I can wear later. You know, I'm supposed
not just for this event.
Yes, not just for the event. I'm supposed to do a gown for you. So I have to figure out how you will have to like
wear it past the event.
Wear it past the event. So I have to figure out like if I am making this dress after the event, this person should be in a position to cut the dress short, because you know the bottom part is usually dramatic.
Exactly.
Like the sleeves, like you know the way I'm dressing today.
And you're walking in town this way. So
imagine and all that. So if someone else wanted the design, I already have something in my mind. I could cut off the sheer part of it, just make it a normal, simple dress.
Wow.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Fauzia and Joan, for your time and at least expounding to us where we are as a country and probably what we need to do to continue embracing fashion design here in this country. And that is actually where we end our conversation this Wednesday. From me and on behalf of the entire team, we say thank you so much for watching. My name is Dorita Range. Till tomorrow, good morning.